it's inevitable. We could open 15 new locations and announce on Facebook, hey, we're in these 15 new places. And every one of them would have a comment saying, when will you be here?
Who builds a Barndo at the beach, right? Like, we got one 5 minutes away from the beach, and they're doing black on black. The house looks beautiful and everything. And, just inspectors are like, spray foam insulation. What's that? Like, you put it in a home.
Now, the problem's going to be we're going to get 1,000 more people that want beach Barndos.
Yeah.
Nick's going to be melting down.
He already is.
Hey, if it is a problem, our goal is to solve it together.
Yep.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Barndo Show. Super excited to talk with you today, my man. Take a minute to tell everybody who you are and what you do.
My name's James. I'm out of the Dunn office, and I'm a project manager, and I just help the clients go through the entire build process from breaking ground all the way to handing off keys.
No, that's it.
That's it, man.
It's the easy part, right?
Easy part, yeah.
Well, man, you've been with us for a little while now, and you came into the company, I'm sure, from the experience of building, but to walk into Barndos, what was the biggest adjustment just from a product's perspective to like wrap your mind around?
Just how it was done. I mean, I've watched tons of videos on them prior to starting here, and everybody builds them differently, and then you come here and it's just like, that's not as complicated as I thought it was.
Right. Yeah.
So,
it's just knowing the process.
Yeah.
And then you got to teach everybody, right? Inspectors, everybody.
That's the big thing. Inspectors, I mean, they'll just walk in there and like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And you're just like, well, this is what it is. And, here's the structural plans. Like, if you want to look at them.
Yeah. Yeah. Structural plans. We'll just sign off on this. And, we've had both experiences. That's one of the biggest challenges. People, it's inevitable. We could open 15 new locations and announce on Facebook, hey, we're in these 15 new places. And every one of them would have a comment saying, when will you be here? And the hurdle is, more than anything, is one, finding qualified people that we can work with in the area. And that takes time. We have to kind of pre-select it, work on it for almost a year before we announce that we're coming there, to build a base, make sure that we've got qualified people that can come in and service these things, that'll stand behind it, be a part of our warranty, and do those things. But more so, it's understanding and having meetings with counties and municipalities and understanding their process, because every single county is different. And you want to go in with homeowners and let them know, like, hey, this is going to work, right? And sometimes counties make it difficult. I would say less than 10% of the total counties we're in have made it an obstacle. The problem is, when you're in 400 counties, that's 40 that have made it an obstacle. It always works out. You just you create a path forward, and you might do things a little different in this county just to appease them. But overall, our system's pretty guaranteed and locked in, because we do a set of superset structurals on every single barndominium that goes out. So if we get into a contest with somebody over what should be done, we just always defer to the engineered plans. But when you came in, like, product, I know was a big difference. But when you, like, first time you and I met was at our annual retreat.
Yeah.
What was that like to walk in and kind of get, like, first interaction really with the whole company is at this big retreat that's probably different than anything you've ever been to?
Yeah. So when I first started, I'd only been here like 2 weeks. And then one of the PMs down in Duncan was like, hey, man, I need you to go by and do this site visit for me on your way to the retreat. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. What are you all looking for? He's like, here's the checklist. So I'm literally out there in the middle of the field just going through everything. And I get down to the retreat, and I'm just like, holy crap. I've only been here 2 weeks, and I'm meeting you, Ross, everybody down in the home office, all the PMs. And it was just, nobody just treated you like the new guy. So it was very, very neat and different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun for me to, like, see the look on some people, because we inevitably at that annual, there'll always be somebody that's kind of their first experience with the company.
Yeah.
Is walking into that, and you don't know what to expect. It's way different, but it's fun. And if I could dial it up, everybody would start that day. Like, they would start at that annual because you get to really dive in to see what we're all about. And, that this thing's bigger than Barndo's. The
Yeah.
product's cool, the process is cool. That's our focus and priority. We make that really exceptional. But the biggest piece is our people, man. Our people are exceptional people. And if you're working with a project manager, a selections coordinator, a salesperson, an administrator, anybody in the company, like, they're exceptional people that we pour into, and we want to build this culture to where core values, mission, vision aren't just words on a wall. It's a real thing that we really try to live by and make decisions around, and encourage people to be the best version of themselves at all times. So that was really cool. I love kind of seeing that. And in my head, like, that's my first interaction with you is going like, "Hey, who's this guy?" And they're like, "Oh, that's Wolf. He's good." And then we got to connect over the course of that week and hang out. But I always like to get the perception of that because I know it's different. It's something that I'm passionate about, because everybody that works here and puts a lot of time and effort in. Um, it's only right that I put equal amount of effort and emphasis in to you, right? To meet you where you are and talk about things other than just the job we do, but talk
Yeah.
about who we are as people. Um, so Dunn, talk about the market up here. I mean, you got jobs spread out all over. You're running everything. You kind of run this whole area for us, from a project management side. What's that like? Like, what's been a fun thing that you've encountered, and what's been some obstacles that you've encountered in a new market with this new product?
Fun things is I get to meet a lot of awesome homeowners. I mean, that's honestly a perk. I've not really had anybody that's just been terrible to deal with. It's a lot of highway mileage. I go all the way from Topsail and right now all the way out to Germantown, North Carolina. I mean, you're talking about a 4 or 5 hour drive at some point,
Yep.
all the way up to almost the Virginia border. So, I mean, it's definitely a lot of window time, but it gives you a lot of time to really think about the jobs, the customers, and what's going on with it while you're doing that versus just focusing on, the overall, like, hey, I got 7, 8 builds, like you get the time to sit there and think about what you just went and looked at and double checked with and making sure everything's lined up, making your phone calls while you're burning up the roads. Challenges, I mean, honestly, just some counties are just a little bit different. Out towards the coast, all the code requirements for hurricane stuff is just different. So, we had to adapt with all that. And, um, you know, who builds a barndo at the beach, right? Like, we got one 5 minutes away from the beach and they're doing black on black. The house looks beautiful and everything. And, just inspectors are like, spray foam insulation. What's that? Like, you put it in a home. And, they just, like you said earlier, they just don't know what they don't know. So you have to provide them that information, which it's fun because they teach you, stuff for their area as much as we're teaching them stuff about barndos.
Yeah.
So it's a fun process. But I'd definitely say permitting and not permitting inspections can be challenging sometimes if you get, that one guy that just like Nazi
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's by the book, but
Yeah.
structurals kind of supersede everything.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, it's just a challenge because some people, if they don't understand it, they want to be in the position of authority, and so sometimes you just got to succumb to it. Like,
Yep.
this is a personality I got to deal with, but but it's important to talk about because the homeowner is our teammate,
Yeah.
right? We're battling all that together, and so I think as long as we keep everybody on the same page, like, hey, look, building this is going to be a obstacle in and of itself, right? They've got personal challenges. All their money's invested. They're probably living in temporary housing. They probably left their previous home. That everything's there. There's tons of pressure. You're trying to build it for them. There's a process to it, but like knowing that they can trust you is the biggest thing, right? Like, if a homeowner comes out on job site, they see something that like triggers them in their brain, and they can bring it to you and know that, like, hey, if it is a problem, our goal is to solve it together.
Yep.
I think that's important. Um, Walk through a little bit. Like, I talked about this, with the onboarding thing. One of the things that we do is that checklist. You said, hey, one of the first things I ever did was got sent out to a job to go through the onboarding checklist
Yep.
for a site visit. Talk about a site visit a little bit. Like, when you go out there, what are the things you're looking for so that we can get all the necessary stuff so that sales can put those actual numbers in and show homeowners what it's going to cost to get it ready to build?
Yeah, I mean, every site visit's different. We've had some clients that already have purchased their land. We have clients who are looking to purchase land, and so they're depending heavily on us to go out there and kind of do like a visual assessment on, hey, this is where I think I want to put my house. What issues are we going to run into? So we take tons of photos, tons of notes, kind of go ahead and get a rough idea of like, hey, is there power out there already? Is there a septic, a well, or are they tying into the county or city? Is their driveway that's they're gonna, handle concrete trucks and delivery trucks coming in? Do we got to worry about crossing a creek or a river? I mean, we've ran into it all. Trees. I mean, a lot of people don't even think about it, but trees is a thing, and it's different and challenging, but honestly, it just helps the client make good informed decisions, which ultimately helps us with them in regards to getting upfront pricing with them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like the ability to identify those obstacles ahead of time versus going through the process kind of preemptively signing, getting everything rolling, and then you get out there and you realize, oh man, we've got to impound a stream and build a road across it and all these things that maybe weren't in the purview, when talking about building, and now they're stuck with either we're at a standstill or you got to come to the table with more money. We're figuring that out on the front end so that they can breathe a little bit. Um, what's been the coolest project you got to work on since you've been here?
Oh, the coolest. I would say the one at the beach. I mean, it's just a monster of a house. It's 7 bedrooms. I think it's like 3.5 bathrooms. It was kind of a tiny lot. The homeowners wanted it positioned very tight, exactly how they wanted it, which was very close within the county setbacks from the property lines. I mean, it's just beautiful. The selections that they chose, the colors that they did, the contractors that installed everything, like it's immaculate. Like that's by far been the favorite one that I've done.
That's super cool. A beach barndo,
Beach
right?
Barndo, yeah.
Now the problem's going to be we're going to get 1,000 more people that want beach
Yeah.
barndos, and then the Nick's
Yeah.
going to be melting down.
He already is.
So, because that's on like the border, like that's like literally on the edge of what's really a covered territory for us. And it's a constant thing where we're trying to figure out like, hey, if we turn that on full time, what is it going to look like every time? Now, these guys got lucky that, they had a lot that would succumb to the way that we typically
Yep.
build. Unfortunately, if you had 15 out there, maybe 3 of them or 5 of them would fit that criteria, and 10 to 12 of them would have to have some kind of elevated, built on pylons kind
Yeah.
of scenario. And that's not something that we do every day. It's not something that we would know how to price up front. Those are things we're solving in the back end all the time. It's like, okay, if we're going to do this and there's demand here, all the way down through, from Leland to Hampstead, wonderful. Like, what is it going to take so that we can execute 100% of the time, no matter what that obstacle looks like when we go do the site visit, So those are things that we're constantly like, that's feedback that comes back, right? Like, oh, okay, this one worked, but this homeowner over here, it was something that was going to be wild that maybe isn't conducive to a traditional barndo. We got to do some exploratory stuff there and figure that out so that we can offer it to more people because there's definitely people there that want them.
Yeah.
But there's always a reason behind why we're doing what we're doing. Like we want people to have the same experience every single time.
Yep.
And those anomalies can sometimes throw some stuff in there, right? Where like we're discovering with you, and if we don't know, and we go through that process and realize, hey, the county is going to require that this thing have 10 foot of elevation on pylons, and for us to go in here and do it, which is doable, but it's going to require this, this, and this, and it's $90,000 more dollars than normal. If we don't have the ability to tell them that on the front end, then it kind of sets a bad situation, right? Their expectations and their experience aren't going to align,
Right.
and we're going to end up with a disappointed client. So rather than have a disappointed client, we'd rather do all that research on the front end,
Yep.
be able to tell you all that information on the front end, and then get there, so that we can send James to the beach all the time.
Yeah.
But what do you think? If you were talking to a homeowner, right, who's getting ready to have a conversation with us, they've been thinking about doing this, or maybe they've just onboarded, right, as a project manager to prepare them for the actual building, right? If they were sitting there and you could give them some advice of how to make it as fluid as possible so that they have a great experience, y'all work well together, and that y'all can get to the desired outcome as fast as possible, what would that be?
Expect rain. um, don't be shocked when you see the concrete poured and it looks smaller than what you had in your vision.
Yeah,
My wife dealt with that, so that was a fun one. And honestly, just communication at the end of the day just solves 99% of the problems. Every one of my clients has my phone number. They text me 8 o'clock at night. Hey, I just thought about this, or hey, we just went by the house. We noticed this, and I respond to them. I mean, that's just my personality. Depending on what it is, and if I don't have an answer for them, or I'm doing something with the family, I'll be like, hey, let me look into this and I'll get back with you. But I always follow up with them for sure and at least give them an answer. But not communication is honestly the key to having a smooth building process. Bad news doesn't get better with time, but it's still news.
right.
Like we can't control the weather. It is what it is. We hate it as much as you hate it. We want to get you in your house just as much as you want to be in your house. So honestly, I would say communication is by far the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's just important because I think sometimes like people see something and they don't know what the process is. They don't know if that's a problem. And then they're afraid to communicate it. Maybe it lingers and then it comes across as almost like it's them versus you versus the reality is like it's us versus the world, right? We both have a desire here. We want to get done on time, on budget, as fast as possible, as great as possible. We want you to move in because we've got hundreds more to build, and this is your forever home, and we want it to match up right? Like, well, there's no advantage to us for this to take longer. There's no advantage to us to have an issue on the job. We're teammates.
Yeah.
We're teammates throughout the entire build. The Barndo Show is sponsored by the Barndo Co. Are you ready to reclaim your American dream? If so, head over to thebarndoco.com, click the contact form, and reach out to one of our representatives so we can get your dream started today. The fun thing is, you alluded to it a little bit about the concrete thing, is not only are you building barns for everybody, but you actually are building your own too with the company. So like you got to see both sides of the spectrum, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overseeing my build, for obvious reasons,
Right.
because I'd
But you
probably just focus on mine. No, that's probably not true, but,
you get to who is Aaron running your job?
yeah,
So
Aaron.
you get to be the customer to him.
Yeah, so,
Text him at night.
oh, I do, trust me, because it's about the only time I get to get over there, honestly. So, like, I'll get home, we'll take our son or all of our kids over there and just walk through the house and be like, "Hey, look at this, look at this." My wife will be like, "Does that look right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." So I get to experience it from both sides, but Aaron and I go way back, and it's actually fun because like I'll just message him or like a random photo. I'm like, "I don't think this is right," and he'll be like, "Just stop, dude. I'll get it fixed." So I mean, I give it to Aaron because he's doing a hell of a good job. But I mean, any build, there's things that are going to happen. It's part of construction. Rain is brutal. I mean, it is what it is, and we're getting rain for the last 2-3 days, and there's mud all throughout my house.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "Are they gonna fix that?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're gonna clean it up. Don't worry." Like,
Well, I think it's a part that's overlooked a lot of the time. Like you live the world, you're unfazed, but your wife doesn't live in that world.
yeah,
She even your wife, right? Like it's a construction site until it's clean, photos taken, and the key handed
yep,
over. Then it's a home,
yep,
right? And so I was talking about that a little bit with Hillary on an episode. Was like, one of the advantages of our clients getting to go do barn tours is they get to go out and tour a project that's under construction and see it under construction so that it kind of sets a tone because you build like a fantasy, right? Like, oh, it's going to be beautiful. And you go out there when the
immaculate.
concrete's first poured and it's all pretty and polishy gray. And then they come in and frame. And then it's like, what happened? And then like people will lose sleep over
Oh
something
yeah,
that they're never going to see anyway. It's just part of the build. Like you're surrounded by acres of mud. We can't control the rain. You're going to lose some days because of weather. You're going to lose some days because of something. Like we've accounted for it, right? We tell people on the front end, hey, expect this much time. And then they look at that schedule and it's months ahead. They're like, yep, but like that is a good goal, right? And you may get lucky and be the needle in the haystack where everything goes according to plan and we don't have foul weather and we don't have delays and nothing happens. But the reality is we told you this because we know somewhere in there we're gonna get a week of rain that's gonna prevent concrete from being poured. It's gonna prevent these guys from coming and doing this portion of the build, or hey, you know, a delivery got delayed by 3 days, or a subcontractor got sick.
Right.
Like, we're working with human beings. Like, there's going to be something that'll derail it a little bit. It's just the ability to go in there and talk about it. So talk a little bit about Builder Trend, because Builder Trend is a powerful tool for our homeowners during that build process because it kind of brings them into the picture, right?
Right.
They're in the project management software with the project managers and all the other leaders in the company that are in that project. Talk a little bit about that, like.
So Buildertrend is an awesome platform. Not only does it allow the customer to see where we are in the phase, like they get to see 2 weeks out of the schedule. So they get to see it almost in real time of what's happening. And not just that, all the photos that we take, they get access to. All the documents that we sign with them in the field, doing pre-drywall meetings, pre-con meetings, all that stuff is easily right there at their fingerprints, their plans, their proposals, all of it. Um, Being on both sides of it, I mean, it's honestly an awesome tool for like my wife because she knows that I live on the road lately. So it's her window into knowing what's going on. But from the project management side, I mean, it's just, you know, back in the day, everybody just carried folders and you'd have a box in the back of your truck with plans, structurals, permits, all the things. And now it's just like we can literally pull it up on our phones and pull every bit of data and information that we need. And it's really an awesome tool for the clients and for us as the project managers, honestly. And I know you guys get tickled to death seeing the photos instead of like, hey man, can you send me a photo of this build? Like I want to see where we're at.
Yeah,
Like now you guys can just like, hey, I want to go look at this such and such build and just pull it up on your phone. Like, oh man, that's freaking awesome.
and tons of photos.
Tons of photos. Yeah. Yeah. Tons of photos.
Billy's gonna get them photos,
Oh,
man.
he
Yeah.
the warden, man. Love that dude to death, and he's honestly he's great, and he's super fair. But we do have requirements that we have to hit, and I mean honestly, it's great for the customer because it ultimately goes back to that communication. More photos you have, it almost tells a story,
Yeah.
and two, those homeowners get to keep those photos forever. They can make a photo album of them, of building our dream home, and without them having to go out there daily. So
Yeah. Well, and we build for a lot of people that don't even live here,
yeah,
right? They're relocating from. I mean, we've got some builds. I was in a meeting the other day with a build in Tennessee where the family's in New York, and so Builder Trend becomes a big tool for them because you're right. They see the photos, they can see the progress, and they come down. It ain't like they're just gonna sit up there and wait for us to get done. They'll
right,
come down for scheduled meetings and walkthroughs and stuff. But it also shows them live the weather. So
yeah,
if James is saying it's raining today, they can literally pull it up and to that location. It'll
yep,
show you what the weather looks like. It'll show you what the next few days forecast looks like. And so it allows them to kind of be in the build without having to be at the build.
correct,
And it's been a game changer. Plus it documents everything. Like if they have a request about something or they want to have some information, have a question, they can put it in there. You can answer it. Layers of supervision can see it. If it's something where someone else needs to come down and answer it, someone from permitting could come in and answer a
yep,
question about a delay on an inspection or something, or somebody from purchasing could come in and answer a question about a material back order or something else. Like it allows for that question to be asked once, and the proper people can respond to it, and it just tracks it along the way, right?
yep,
And those comments can get tied to a schedule push or a schedule enhancement where maybe we're running ahead. It gives them the ability to feel like they're managing their job, um, without having to lose sleep over it, right? Where they're laying in bed going, "Man, I gotta call James first thing in the morning because I just don't know what's going on out here." Um, and again, it's transparency.
yeah,
Like that's the biggest thing: communication and transparency. We want you to see it. We're not hiding anything from you. Like we want you to be involved. We want you to know what's going on with your build. It's your dream. You spent all your money to build this. We want you to be a part of it and see it, right? Like we're the expert. We're the one that's going to make sure it gets done. But I think that transparency and communication goes a long way with building that teammate mentality. And in the past, like we didn't have some of the streamlined things that we have today. We're constantly improving our process, and I think, we do well with feedback. Like, I'll never forget that for the first year we were building, people would say, "I would just love if I could see the timeline, see the schedule," because we got people that live in campers on the backside of that property. They're out
Oh
there,
yeah.
right? And they're up drinking their coffee at 7, getting ready to go to work, and they're like, "Where's James? Why is James not here? James, there's nobody on my job today." Versus if they could see the schedule and see like, "Hey, today's wrapping up this, tomorrow this is coming." And if you got a phone call that said, "Hey, this is going to get pushed from Wednesday to Friday," and you adjust the schedule, they see it.
Yep.
So it just the layer of transparency just makes for an incredible client experience. Because like you said, good news or bad news is still news,
Oh yeah.
and it's not going to change if we delay or try to hide it. It's just the facts.
Yep.
And so that's been great. We also did some cool stuff with clients, right? So like different phases of the build, like clients, not everybody does it, but a lot of clients, because they're building their forever dream home, they want to be involved. So we do little things, like the future front door sign.
Yep.
Talk about that. Like, what part of the process is that?
I mean, I've done it either way. I've done it before we've broke ground. I've done it after ground's been broken. I've done it in the middle while the graders are out there doing work. I mean, it
Yep.
just depends on the customer and how they want to do it. I think it's just, I mean, it's just awesome.
It's a
Just,
fun mile marker,
yeah, it's
right?
just one of those never forget moments kind of thing to know that you're standing where your front door is going to be. And then at the end of it, sit there in front of it and take the photo over and hold that front door,
Yeah.
sign again. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then we have some people that come out that want to put handprints in the concrete, people that want to come in and write scriptures on the studs during framing. Just a lot of milestone
Yeah.
moments to make it more than just a build. And let people kind of tie in, and we facilitate that and coordinate that. And that's where that schedule comes in. And somebody had a pour recently, and like, it was not ideal weather conditions, and there was all kinds of stuff, and the pour got moved up, which is a blessing, right? Like, we're ahead of schedule, but the family really wanted to do the hands and concrete thing, so they came out and like, I don't remember who the project manager was, but like they got a pop-up tent and like put the pop-up tent so that they could get under the tent, put their handprints under it, because like it was just they had bunches of little kids, but those little pieces, I think, are the extra steps
Yep.
that are just beyond, like, production building,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's not just a job for a lot of us, honestly. A lot of us get really, I wouldn't say close, but we get to know these clients on a day-to-day basis, their families, the things that make them tick. So, I mean, in a sense, they become an extended family. I mean, it just goes back to we're building their dream home just as much as we're building the dream home for them.
Yep,
And I know you've probably said it like, let's build your dream.
yep,
And we're all about that. Just including them in every step of the way. I think what sets us apart from your, just cookie cutter, even custom home builder is, we include them with the scheduling, the communications, the photos, the involvement, and the different steps of, the handprints. Like Aaron, I wish I could have been there today, but we're doing the podcast. Aaron's doing one with a client today at 12. They were, rain's been kind of crazy, but it for some reason that little area just it's perfect right now. So they're pouring, they're tickled to death. They've been waiting on it for a long time, and then we've had clients with the scriptures. I walked into one. I couldn't be there for when they did it because they did it after hours, but I went through and I took photos of every single one of them and sent them to him. I was like, man, you guys are freaking awesome. Like it was everywhere. You get the handful here and there, but it was every door, every wall, something was written on it. So
yeah, super
it's
cool.
just freaking special.
You talked about cookie cutter building and all this kinda stuff. So, you might be managing anywhere from 10 to 15 jobs at a time. How many of them are exactly alike?
We have some variations of some of them.
That's what I try to tell everybody that comes in. There, like, even when we post a home, right? Like, we post the final photos, the number one asked question is, "What's this cost built on my land?" Well, one, I can't answer that
Right.
because I don't know your land. What does that home cost? What did that one cost specifically? And, like, I could tell you, we give a range. We'll say, "Hey,
Yeah.
this is, mid to lows or mid to highs, 500s, whatever." And the reason behind that is because every single one of our builds, like, I could get right now, I could say, "James, you got 10 maples coming," right? And they're stretched out from Castilia to Fayetteville, from Hampstead all the way over to, Pickett. You go all the way up near our Greensboro line, right? And there won't be one of them that costs the same.
Nope.
There won't be one of them that's got the same color combo on the outside. There won't be one that's got the same kitchen. There won't be one that's got all the same floors. Every single one of them will be different. And all of those selections matter. So you might have 10 of them and 5 of them are within 10%, right? From 480,000 to 530,000, but you could have 2 of them that are $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about selections and location and dirt requirements and driveway. People don't think about that,
Yeah.
right? Like if you've got 2 acres of land and this guy's got 40, and you're putting your house 200 foot off the main road and his is a mile back, night and day difference.
Oh yeah.
Night and day difference. And I know that people are like, well, what's it just generally cost? It's so hard to generalize, and that's why we created onboarding, because we don't want to guess. We don't want to generalize. We want to be specific. We want to know your dream, your vision, your selections, your requirements, and your dirt. And let's build something that meets all of that, that's unique to you, and let's give you that pricing, right? Because it doesn't do any good. It doesn't matter, right? If you built your home for 500 grand and I want to build your home on my dirt,
Not
it's
gonna be the
not going
same.
to be the same. We might get lucky and it be close. But chances are, I might be 50 grand less or 50 grand more, and the only difference was the geography. And so I think that, leaning into that, like, we build 300 plus homes in a year under construction, and not one of them is the same. It's a lot. That's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of differences and a lot of different geography and drive times and different things. And, like, not only are you building that many different plans and that many different variations of finishes, but you're covering an area from the shores of North Carolina
Yeah.
to a completely different terrain on the other side of your map, that it's every component is different. And so you really get the opportunity to build something unique every single time you roll up on a job site,
Yep.
right?
It's unique and challenging at the same time. I mean, because our biggest thing is, finding, like you said, qualified people to work, and the biggest thing is graders. Anybody can talk dirt to you, but
Yeah.
whether or not they really know what they're talking about and dealing with the dirt that's out there it's a night and day thing.
Yeah.
We've gotten very, very fortunate with the grader that we have out here, and I know Held to Pay was just on the other day. He's great. He's done some stuff up towards the Greensboro stuff that Aaron and I are helping out with, but dirt is a huge, huge factor, and I mean it changes 25, 30 minutes down the road.
Mhm.
You can have, softball size rocks to golf cart size boulders. It just depends on where you're at, and a lot of people just don't even think about it.
No, they don't think about it at all. And then if you get closer to that coastal region and you get beyond that line, I mean, you're talking about geotechnical reports and all
Hmm.
kinds of things that need to go into that to facilitate what that's going to cost and what the requirements are to get it ready to build.
Yeah.
And those are things we can't control,
Yep.
right? But we can control them once we diagnose them, we get the cost, then we can control the budget around that number, because that's going to be true no matter what you build.
Yep.
And so it's fun. What would you say if you had to swing about this area, right? Eastern North Carolina, the Dunn office. What makes y'all special and what makes this place great?
Oh, what makes us great? I mean, honestly, the team. Um, Between sales with Hillary, myself, and Aaron, we just all jive. We talk daily. We have got our own little group chat. Selections. We talk with them on a consistent basis. They're hitting us up for information. We're giving it to them. And even all the way down to Duncan, the back office support. Like I could pick up the phone call and talk to Nick, and he's the director of construction. Like everybody helps everybody. It's not like oh, you guys are done. You're out on your own island, fend for yourself kind of thing. So, um, But what makes Dunn special, man, it's just it's an awesome area. A lot of military people are out here. I'm a prior service vet, so anytime I run into a client and they're military, I'll sit there and talk to them for like an hour, not even about the bill.
Right.
The wives are sitting over there like, "Are you done yet? Can we get back to the bill?" So it's just an awesome area, man. It's so diverse and cultures and just ethnicities. Like you could bump into somebody and they could be a millionaire, you wouldn't even know it,
Right.
kind of area. So it's fun for sure.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a growing area, man. And over the last year, just seeing this office take root and grow, and see the number of people we're able to service and the demand in this area. This office has more demand and more lead flow than any office in our company, and it's bizarre because often I get asked all the time, "What is done? How
Yeah.
did y'all find done?" Um, but Eastern North Carolina is exploding. I'm excited for you to be here, man. I love what you're doing. I love the team that you guys have built and where y'all going. And I know this will give people an opportunity to see if you're in the Eastern North Carolina market and you're thinking about building with the Barndo Co. You're going to have James or a member of his team on your site, building with you, going through the process. He knows the stuff. He's there to help. And man, I appreciate you doing the
Yeah,
show with me.
not a problem. I enjoyed it. Thank you.